conceptual perspective to view things. People talk about it as element success, all of the elements.
Hello, everybody. Um, Dr. Rick Wallace here dropping in. New background because I had to get out of the house. I moved my office into my house full time, probably about 3 years ago, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Look, around 3 years ago. I've done that back and forth. I'll be in the house for a while. I'll totally get tired of it, and I'll, go out of the house and, open up an office, or maybe I'll have one and I'll just move my stuff back into the office. This is actually Marion's office. This is my wife's office. She does the real estate and tax service, tax consulting. I told her, hey, I need to get out. I need to get away, find some quiet space, where it's just me, and I can think, it's the weekend and we've got the kids and the grandkids and it's like mayhem. And I really needed some time to think. So this is why you don't get the normal background. But yeah, I was here like maybe 10 minutes and I hit her back and said, man, I'm getting the office outside of the house again. I got to. And so, that's on the agenda. Anyway, hopefully you've had a great week. Last week, you're ready to get a new week off to a great start. I'm hoping to drop something on you that's going to make you think and prepare you to do some exceptional and extraordinary things. Because I'm not in my office, the lighting isn't the way that I would want it to be, because that's where the setup and all that stuff for doing videos and everything is at. And I didn't feel like packing all that stuff, bringing it up here. I just wanted to get out and get into a fresh environment and to open up my mind. But as always, if you go to the description box, you're going to find a lot of resources, from books to coaching and consulting subscriptions. The new coaching on demand subscription, I need to change that while I'm sitting here. I'm going to edit it and change it exactly while I'm sitting here. It is no longer consulting and coaching. It is now coaching on demand. We're going through the process of changing that across all of our platforms, but you can check that out, and a bunch of other things. I really am looking forward to working with a few of you who are really serious about changing your life, and you want to work one-on-one with a very specified plan to achieve a very specified goal. I would love to work with you. There's plenty of information in there how you can get that done. I challenge you to take a step, whether you work with me or not. It's time to take a step. There is no such thing as a perfect opportunity. There is no such thing as a perfect situation, a perfect time to start. Perfect timing does not exist. The timing is when you realize there's something that needs to be done. You take the move, you make the move. Procrastination is a thief of time. And the more you sit around and wait, the more time you waste. And look, there are 86,400 seconds in a day. Every last one of those seconds have meaning, whether you're sleeping, taking a nap, whether you're with family, whether you're working on your business plan, whether you're working on future goals, whether you're sitting up managing your finances. Every second has a meaning. Sometimes the meaning is I need rest, so I'm sleeping. Sometimes the meaning is I need a new spiritual awakening, so I'm praying and I'm meditating. Sometimes it's about grinding and putting in the energy and the work that guarantees that the return you're looking for is coming. But you got to know that you don't have unlimited time. Every second counts. It's meant for something. It's no empty time. There's no casual time. Les Brown often says that if you fool around and you're casual with your time and you're casual in your living, you'll end up as a casualty. That's because you're not investing in your future. You're not investing in bettering yourself. You're not investing in becoming what you're capable of becoming. And you only get what you become. You don't get what you want. You get what you become. If you want something and you don't yet have it, it's because you have not yet become the person capable of producing it. And that's your goal, is to become what you need to become to have the things you desire. All right. So let's move on. What's today? Today is about clarifying your vision. Clarifying your vision. One of the biggest problems of people who can't obtain or achieve consistent success is that they are in a situation where they are hold on, I'm trying to see something. That's weird. Oh, there we go. I'm on the wrong side. There we go. Okay, now we're good. All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I got a little misdirected. I had to catch up. I was trying to change some things in the box and had left it. All right, look, clarifying the vision. And I want to use a biblical scripture to clarify what I'm talking about. We're going to actually connect science, spirituality, and faith. But we're going to do it in a way that everybody can relate to it. I'm going to use a biblical scripture to kind of line things up to show you just how long these principles have actually been in play. You hear people talk about visions all the time. You hear people talking about vision boards, and everybody like, what's vision boards? Are magical or something? No, they are very, very integral in doing a couple of things that lead to success. I know a bunch of people who use vision boards, all of which are successful. I've used vision boards for quite some time, and that, you know, what happens is those things you throw up on that board, when you understand how they operate and you utilize them, and you keep your vision clear, and you are producing something, it comes to you. That stuff falls off that vision board as completed consistently. Some things take longer than others because of the gestation period, of the time. But there, you know, people think it's mystical, it's some kind of magic potion. It's not magic. It's not mystical. It's no some kind of thing that you just throw out there and it happens. It's not an incantation. It is science. It is how the mind works. It's how the universe responds to you. It's the very element and component of faith. Let me help you out here. In the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2 says, write the vision and make it plain, so those who read it may run. Write the vision, make it plain. And it talks about that for when you do this, that the thing that you are writing, the vision will come to pass. It will come to pass. It says, though it tarry. Now, when the word tarry is used in the Bible, it's an old, antiquated term. It means that it's going to take some time. It's not going to come immediate. It's going to appear to be in a situational delay. Though it tarry, it will definitely come to pass. Though it tarry, though it takes longer than you think it should, though it takes so long that people are talking about you, laughing at you, and pointing at you, and you're sitting there and it looks like you're stupid. There's a bamboo tree in Asia. I forget the type of bamboo it is. But this bamboo tree, that when you plant it, it takes literally 5 years before it sprouts. So for 5 years, you have the person who planted the seed, watering it, talling and making sure that no weeds are coming in around it to choke the life out of the seeds that are planting it and take the nutrients from the seeds. See, that's what weeds do. They'll take the nutrients that's meant for the seed. See, you got some people that are weeds in your life right now that are sitting up, literally sucking the life out of your situation, and you don't even realize it. They're not there to pour into you. They're there to literally suck the nutrients out of your blessings, suck the nutrients out of your vision, suck the nutrients out of your future potential. You got to be careful about the people in your circle. But anyway, you got this guy or this young lady, and they planted this bamboo tree, and for 5 years, people are walking by, and they're going, man, you planted that tree right there, right? So when is it going to sprout? I mean, I don't see anything. It's been 8 months and I don't see nothing. And you're there every day. You're there watering it, and you're there cultivating it, and you're there pulling little pricks and weeds out of it, but I don't see anything. It's been 18 months and I don't see, it's been a whole 3 years and you're still there watering that little spot that has produced nothing. Don't you have something better to do than sit right there and wait on that? Because it doesn't look like it's coming. And imagine just having the patience of understanding that everything worth having doesn't come overnight. Imagine having an understanding that there's a gestation period for everything that you're going to receive in your life. Every seed planted will not produce fruit at the same time. Now, here's the thing about this very verse in Habakkuk. It says, though it tarry, wait on it, for it shall surely come. Though it tarry, though it takes a long time, though you experience delay, wait on it. See, delay does not mean denial. You've got to wait on it. Then what does it say? For it is for an appointed time. That's another big reason why people don't get what they put out in the universe, what they've asked God for, what they've set up and demanded of themselves, what they've set up as an expectation is that they started out on a place called Faith Street or Faith Boulevard. And they had a vision and they wrote the vision, they came, but what happened is some of them didn't write it down and didn't make it plain. So it was easy to get them misdirected, distracted and pushed to the side because they had not yet gotten a vision so clear. So your vision has to be so clear that the moment somebody asks you what you're working on or what you're looking for, what you're expecting from God, you've got it so clear that it literally triggers your emotional center that you can feel how you're going to feel when you actually receive it. Oh, that's something about that emotional reality that you need to understand. See, we know this now scientifically, that you can imagine something, and if you imagine it with enough clarity, it becomes real to the mind because the mind cannot distinguish the difference between what is being imagined and what is really happening. So you can literally tell your mind strongly enough that it's happening. The mind believes that it happened. The mind triggers the release of dopamine. The mind triggers the release of other positive and feel-good hormones, and you get this emotional feeling that says, man, this feels good. And you can literally visit this vision while you're going through some difficult times, and people will think you're in denial. I can tell you because I've been there. I'm going through something and saying, how in the hell are you smiling when you should be crying? It's because you're looking at where I'm at, but I'm living where I'm going. You don't get that yet, dude. You are looking at where I'm at. You're looking at the situation. I'm literally living in this moment. I'm living in the future. I'm living in, experiencing where God is taking me. That's how you get through it. That's how you smile. So I'm not in denial. I'm not stupid. I'm acknowledging the facts, but there's a difference between fact and the truth. The facts are the things that you can log, write down, measure, and clock. The truth is what you make of the facts. That's why you can take two people going through the same thing, get different results. Why? Because one is seeing it as a victim, the other one is seeing it as a challenge. It's a come out moment for somebody, and it's a defeat moment for somebody else. But let's go back to it. Write the vision and make it plain. So those who read it may run. Those who read it will actually start to be a part of it. So your vision board won't just work for you. It'll start triggering the people. If you got it in your office, the people that come in your office, if they come in there enough, it'll start triggering them. It'll start getting in their mind. So when you talk about it, they'll talk about it as if they know it's happening for you. It's powerful. Those who read the vision will run. So that's how you can get people to buy into you. If you got, like I got my vision boards in the office, in the home, and the wife sees it all the time. And without knowing, she's bought into it, and she's sitting up talking about, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going. That's my vision, but she's bought into it. So now it's our vision. We're running because we both read. We both see it. It's both clear. And see, the whole thing is there are always going to be bad. There's going to be some news that comes in that isn't good. There are going to be some setbacks. There are going to be some problems. There are going to be some challenges. Anytime you're trying to do something great, there are going to be some challenges to it. It doesn't come. Greatness is not easily acquired because it requires a consistency of faith, a consistency of force, and a consistency of commitment that most people don't have. So you got a lot of people who aren't experiencing. See, the first thing is you got to make it clear. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the reward. Keep your eye on the and focus on the things that you are desiring in this life. You got to keep your eye on it so clearly that it's as you are already there. See, that's what allows you to call things that are not as though they were. That's what allows you to call things that are not as though they were. Now let's keep going. It says what? So those who read it may run. But then it says a little bit later on in this verse, it says, and though it tarry, wait for it. Now, where are you going to wait for it? See, that's the next thing that people miss. If they don't, we live in a microwave culture, a culture that basically says that if I can't have it now, I don't have time to wait for it. I need it now. I want it now. I demand it now. I don't want to hear nothing about no process. I don't hear nothing about no work. I don't want to hear nothing about no delay. I want it now. And what happens? If it don't come now, if you don't get it now, if it doesn't land on your doorstep immediately, you dismiss it as maybe it just wasn't God's will. Maybe that just wasn't for me. It's never, I didn't stick with it long enough. It's never, I didn't anchor down and wait on it. It's never, I didn't push through to the end. It's always something else external for the reason again. It's God's fault. The enemy blocked it. All different kinds of things instead of saying, I'm not leaving until I get it. That's that thing. That's that thing. That's that thing. If you've got that kind of faith where you're talking about God, you're talking about the Most High, you're talking about the Almighty, you're talking about God and however way you're dealing, then that's got to be a point in you. That's got to be a mindset in you that you show up to God and you say, this is what I'm demanding. This is what I want for my life. This is a thing. This is how I'm going to use this thing to bless the world, to be an impact. And I'm not leaving without my blessing. We could learn a lot from a 2-year-old. You ever tried to tell a 2-year-old no? How many of you know that don't go well? You're going to tell them no. As a matter of fact, a teenager. I got a bunch of them in the house. They sit up there and say, no. They look at you. So, and it's like they're processing it. So does no mean no like right now? And then maybe if I come back in 5 minutes and ask in a different way, does that count as a new situation and I can get a different answer? Then they'll come back. And the 2-year-old ain't leaving. It's like I'm sitting right here and I'm gonna keep asking you until you say yes or until I fall asleep, whichever one comes first, don't matter. But I'm not finna give up on this thing. That's the way you got to be when you sit up and say, this is the life that I want for me and my family. And it doesn't show up in year 1. It doesn't show up in year 2. It doesn't show up in year 3. You don't throw it to the side. I'm not leaving until I get this blessing. I'm not leaving. I'm going to put the work in and I'm going to demand that the law of sowing and reaping take hold. You can't deny me what I sowed. We got to have a mindset that says I'm going to put the work in. But let me get back to it. It says, though it tarry, wait. Wait on it. Wait for it. You've put the work in. You've planted the seeds. You've been watering it. You've been nurturing it. Wait on it. Here's the problem. You get tired and waiting now. Here's the thing I can tell you, whether you believe God, the universe, or however you believe this thing is happening, let me tell you what happens. There ain't but one place blessings get delivered. Whatever you want to call them, I call them blessings. And I don't call them that from a religious standpoint. I just call them because I feel blessed with the things that have happened in my life. I call them blessings. And I don't believe they're magical. I believe they're a part of the process of me becoming who I am becoming. And so, but what happens? Let me tell you how it works. See, blessings, whether you want to say they come from God, come from the universe, come from life, or whatever you want to say, they only deliver to one location and destination. See, when you sit up and you make a demand that big on life, you make it from a place of faith. You may not understand it at the time, but see, what happens is a lot of people, their faith get tested. The faith gets tested, and they start to think about something, and after a while, it starts to wear on their faith, and their faith gets tired, and they get weary, and after a while, they start listening to the naysayers, you know, those minimal-minded people that's always got negative stuff to say about what you're trying to accomplish in your life, and they start to listen to it. and now the faith is waning, and they're starting to place their faith to the side. James said, let your faith have perfect work. What does that mean? Let your faith come to completion is what it means. Let your faith come to a point of completion. It hasn't been completed yet. You've got it initiated, but what happens? See, this thing, God, the universe, like only delivers to Faith Street. That's the only place it delivers. Now, the moment you place the order, the moment that you sit up and say, this is what I want for my life, the moment you put it out there in the universe takes it. That's what faith does. Faith sends a message to the universe of what the universe must respond to. When faith speaks and you move on what you've spoken, the universe has no option but to conspire with you to bring you the thing that you set out to have. That's what's called faith. If you want to get it clarified to you, I suggest you read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. But anyway, so what happens? The package is on its way to Faith Street. Now again, you got to remember something. What? It may tarry, but wait on it. Because it is for what? An appointed time. When you plant an oak tree, there's an appointed time it's going to grow. When you plant the bamboo tree, it's a appointed. See, somebody laughing at you at the 3-year point with the bamboo tree because it hasn't even shown its first sprout yet. But here's the beautiful thing about the bamboo tree that I didn't share earlier. At year 5, it sprouts. And within the next 90 days, it grows 100 feet in 90 days. It took 5 years to peak out and 90 days to become a full-blown bamboo shoot. So the question is often asked, did it take 90 days to grow 100 feet or did it take 5 years? It took 5 years. Most of the growth happened underneath the surface. Nobody could see it growing, but it was growing. They only got to see the end result. They only got to see what happened after it stood in, after it held on, after it pushed through, after it maintained, after it sustained. Then they got to see what happened. Most people quit before it shoots out. You say, though it wait. See, now here's the problem. While the package is being delivered to Faith Boulevard, you done moved. You now reside on must not have been for me Avenue. Ain't no way it gonna happen. Circle. I don't see how. Lane. And that's where you're at now. But the package was delivered where you were at when you ordered it on Faith Boulevard. Now, just like when UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service, and Amazon, when they show up and you're not there no more, and it's obvious that you no longer reside there, the package is returned. It came, but you didn't wait long enough. You didn't wait on the appointed time. Too many of you are giving up before the appointed time. See, there's a gestation period when you talk about planting and reaping. See, the seeds of collard greens ain't the same as the seeds for an oak tree or a pine tree or whatever it is. You got to understand that some things are going to come quicker than others, but your responsibility is to wait. Plant it and put in your work, nurture, guard, prune, pull, weed, and do everything you need to do to make sure that all the nutrients that are necessary to feed the vision are present. You need some clarity. I'm telling you, vision boards are beastly because they go straight to the subconscious mind. Very few people are sitting up there staring at their vision board. But what are they doing? They're scanning past it. They may glance up at it. And they don't realize while your conscious mind may only count one word on it, your subconscious mind saw the whole vision board, recorded it, and connected it with the last encounter with the vision board, which ultimately is going to take them back to the first encounter with the vision board, which tells them what the vision board is about. And it calculates it and says, this is where I'm going. This is what it's about. This is what I'm doing. This is what's coming. And the entire mindset is working. The subconscious, what was known in the Bible as the heart. See, say hearts and minds. See, the heart in the Bible was the subconscious. Controls 96% of everything we do in this world, the heart, the center. But then you had the conscious mind, the nous in Greek, but it was the mind. And what does it tell us? Guard your hearts and minds. Constantly through the Bible, over and over and over again. This important. Guard. What are you guarding it? And are you feeding it what you want it to be able to produce? The problem is we got these unbelievable brains, but we uploading these crappy programs that we're running that produce nothing. You can have $1 billion computer and you running a $1 program, you're going to get $1 results. It's time to start uploading and downloading what you want into your mind that will produce the things. How many books are you reading? What type of books are you reading? What type of programming are you watching when you're watching television? What are you researching and looking at as far as videos and podcasts that are feeding the subconscious mind? There's a way to get there. I'm telling you, there's a way to get there. There's absolutely nothing in this world that can stop you once you set your mind to do something. If you're going after it, you're going to move toward it. You're going to make progress. The problem is, will you stick with it until you're done? That's the problem. But the thing is, when you got that vision, when you write that vision, when it's there, it becomes clear. It becomes clear. It becomes so clear that you can go to it and it can literally change your mood. It can change the way you feel. It can alleviate stress. People who are able to do that have much healthier lives. I'm talking about the alleviation of stress. I'm talking about the healing of cancer. I'm talking about, I've done work in epigenetics, and one of the most powerful forces about epigenetics is the interpretation of environment, because environment affects epigenetics. You're passing down genes that have already been traumatized genetically through epigenetic tags, but also you are now impacting genes epigenetically through environment. In other words, what epigenetics tells me is that there are all these different types of genes, and they can be upregulated and downregulated, meaning they can be turned off where they express them, turned on where they express themselves, turned off where they no longer express themselves. What I know through my study of epigenetics and cancer is I can tell you that there has to be at least 12 or 13 of these cancer genes turned on at the same time, and most of those are turned on environmentally. Some of them are turned on by nutritional habits, others are turned on environmentally. About 3% of cancers are actually genetically predisposed. In other words, it was passed down through your lineage. Most of it is environmental, and it's not all from carcinogens. A lot of it is that we stress so much. We've been through so much trauma that we are turning on genes, disease genes, that are literally attacking us. Diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, thyroid conditions, liver conditions, kidney conditions, and they're genetically predisposed based off of environment and the interpretation, because you got some people in the same environment but see the environment different. That's the power of the mind. Literally, you have people now who are healing themselves through powerful meditation. Why? Because they're reinterpreting their environment. They're changing the way their body is experiencing life. And the more positive the body experiences things, the more powerful the immune system. And the immune system in the body is actually designed to work, to heal, and get rid of anything that doesn't belong. When you take care of the body will automatically take care of you. That's the power of this whole thing. I'm talking about a thing that goes so much beyond how many dollars in your bank account. I'm talking about the holistic ability to live life holistically and live life full of life, to actually get to enjoy life. How many people I see that come to me in their 50s that spent the last 30 years working on a job they hate, spent the last 30 years busting their butt to make money. Some of them have made good money and they're still miserable. Why? Because they're not seeing life for the full thing that it is. They have gotten and bought into the idea that life is about going to work and making money and paying bills. And they missed the whole idea and the notion of living. Life is a derivative of living. Living says, I am not just existing, that I have a purpose in this world, that I'm going to touch this world, that I'm going to leave my mark on this world, that I'm going to leave an impression about what life, how beautiful life has been to me. I'm going to make somebody else's life beautiful. That's living. And when you live, you actually live. You literally change the genetic makeup. Now, you don't change DNA genetic sequence, but you do change genetic expression. Literally becoming somebody completely different based off of how you use your mind to process your environment. I'm gonna get off of here. I could talk about this stuff all day, but what I want you to do is I want you to start making up in your mind that you're gonna be clear about what you want. You're gonna be so clear that you're gonna write it down. If you can get some pictures of it, that's even better because pictures process quicker. See, when you see a word, you have to convert the word to what the word represents in order to create a memory. When you see the picture, it's automatically impressed. That's where the word photographic memory or eidetic memory comes from. So here's the thing. Get a place. Man, I've got visions wrote on cards in my wallet. So when I open my wallet and look for a card, look for a specific credit card or whatever, I open it up and the card with whatever vision that's on that card, it pops out. I got vision boards on my wall that literally my desk faces these vision boards. So every time I raise my head up from looking at one of the computer screens, I'm seeing it. That's what you have to be willing to do. You've got to be clear about what it is. I've helped clients, almost all my clients, I've helped them do their vision boards. And I love getting these reports about the stuff that was on the vision board that is falling off and marked completed. It's like I check mine off. I don't take them off. I check them off. And then when everything on that vision board is checked off, I take it down and I file it away, start a whole new one. What are you expecting? What is it that you want? What are you doing to change it? Let me help you. Let me help you go from A to B, because life is a journey. I'm not going to say we're going to get to A to Z because it's a lot more to be done after whatever we do. But let's get to A to B. Come work with me for a year. 12 weeks, but I would prefer to have you for a year. Those that can't, we can do as low as 12 weeks, but come work with me. That's the challenge. I'm challenging people this week to come work with me. Let's look at what can be done. Let's change for the better, and then go out and help people change their lives. That's how you change the world. People say, Doc, you keep talking about changing the world. You keep talking about last year you wanted to touch 1 million people, and I did. I literally did touch 1 million lives. Not necessarily the way I prefer or want to at some level, but I impacted 1 million lives. And people ask me, what's one of the best ways to impact 1 million people? Don't just look to affect people. That's good. You got an effect on people. You have a positive effect. That's great. I live an infectious life. My personality, my energy, I live an infectious life. That means that when a person is infectious, that means they're contagious. So my faith is contagious. My high expectations are contagious. My high demands are contagious. My relentlessness is contagious. And so what happens is when I come across someone, when I meet a client, I don't just affect their lives, I infect them. I infect them with high expectations. I infect them with all of the things that they're going to need. I infect them to where now they just don't go out and do what I've given them or shown them. They go out and infect other people. There are people who are literally infected with a belief that their life is going to be better, that comes from me, that never will know me. Some will know my names because some people will meet them and say, hey man, I learned this from this guy, blah, 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 or whatever, go check him out, whatever. Others will just sit up and pass it on without sharing, and it doesn't matter to me. It's not about how many people know it came from me. It's just knowing that I put something out in the world that's shifting the idea, shifting the paradigm, shifting expectations, changing lives. That's what I want. I'm writing a legacy by being infectious. If you're having a bad week, call me. Let's just get on the phone. I'm going to get you through it. I'm going to talk you through it. We're going to deal with it. But just the energy that I'm going to exchange with you is going to shift your position. That's power. That's power. How you engage the challenges is huge. On that note, I'm going to get off of here. I got plenty more to do. I'm enjoying this. I'm pretty sure when Marion leaves the gym, she's going to be calling me talking about come on home. It's Sunday. Because she don't want to be there with all them kids. All of them. Unfortunately, it's not all of them. We have 13 kids. Fortunately, most of them are grown. But The kids are there, and then some of the grown kids are there. I'm like, look, I love the kids, but y'all come get y'all darn kids, man. But you know, I'm joking. I love the blessing of having kids and grandkids. You know, I never thought that I would be sitting up talking about being a parent to 13, but it is what it is. You know, we have a lovely family. We have challenges just like everybody else. We're trying to do some things that will be lasting in the family, and so it's beautiful. But I'm going to get off and get some more work done so that when she does hit me, I can go ahead and pack up and get out of the office. First thing I did when I got here, I get up and say, man, I am definitely going back to having my office outside of the house. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get that done, but that's definitely on the agenda. Anyway, look, for those of you who want to work with me, email me directly. There's information in there too if you want to jump on it that way, but email me directly, CEO@rickwallacephd.link. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. Peace.
Here I come, ready or not. Frank Ocean made this record hot.
From a conceptual
sounded better than Jay.
perspective, people talk
Real
about
talk,
it as
I ain't throwing shots. Careful who